Welcome back to Vegas Live with Ninon. Well, you notice I use that word back. This is the first show I have done since, I guess, COVID-19. It was a disaster, obviously, for everybody, and especially for my company, because I've been doing Vegas Live with Ninon for nearly 9 years, a long time. And unfortunately, I couldn't do it because all the restaurants were closed. Everything was closed down. So now we are back. But I am back with a one of the guests, a very special guest. Malletman was on my show in, I think it was 2017. 2017, you were on my show.
Right.
And now we have Mando with us. And Mando has a very interesting part in this whole arena. And I'm still trying to find it out because, as you all know out there, I don't pre-interview my guests at all because I don't like to. So I really don't, because it takes that kind of like interesting edge off it. Yeah. So, Mando, what do you exactly do in this? You play in the band.
I play in the band, and I put together artists and music for the Fountainbleu for the Nowhere Lounge. I've been doing that as a kind of an expert booker there, and Mallet is one of my guests and favorite musicians that I enjoy playing with. I've known him from back when I first met him in LA when we were doing a tribute to Lionel Hampton. I guess we were sort of doing. And
you brought him back, didn't you? Because he was on the Fountainbleu about two or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, this is the second
residency. I was supposed to film that, and I couldn't.
Right.
And so this is the second residency.
This is the second residency.
You must like this Malletman pretty well. I mean, I'm bringing him back.
For sure.
Have you known him a long time? Now, you also play in the band.
I'm in the band. I'm the saxophone player. Yeah, actually.
Oh my goodness! So you're going to be one of my treats. I'm going to go and see the show tonight. Actually, it's at the Fountainbleu. So, as we all know, Vegas is hot, hot, hot on the Fountainbleu. It's doing fabulous. I was there for the opening. One of the most beautiful, elegant hotels I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
But I used to go to their Fountainbleu hotel in Miami Beach.
Wow.
I was there many, many times, dinners and all sorts. And I used to go to their spa.
Wow, that's
Great
fantastic.
Spa. Oh, yes, fabulous. And that was a very elegant hotel. And if I remember rightly, that was one of Frank Sinatra's favorite hotels, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
So how did you manage to sort of get, the Fountainbleu is very, very new, obviously. It's only been open a couple of months. And you've got all this going on there. How did you get into all this? Because everyone's trying to get into the Fountainbleu.
Well, I actually used to play at the Cosmopolitan with my fiance, actually, a girl by the name of Jennifer Keith. And we had a residency there for about 2.5 years.
Wow.
And so I sort of got my start bringing bands at the Cosmopolitan. And so some of the same people that were there that I worked with brought me over to help them out at the Fountainbleu.
The Fountainbleu.
Yeah.
And, they only do that when you're kind of honorable and you're kind of, you can rely on them. Because a lot of in the entertainment business, you can't rely on them. They get late or they don't turn up or things happen. I don't know, but this is what I hear. Yeah. So you're obviously very reliable. So you're not only a player, a saxophone player, but you're also
I'm kind of a producer.
A producer as well.
Right.
So what room are you in this? You're in which room are you in?
It's called the Nowhere Lounge.
That's a funny.
Yeah.
I'm going nowhere. I'm going nowhere. I understand where that is.
Right.
That's a different name.
Yeah, I guess it was supposed to be like a kind of a hidden secret. Like a speakeasy kind of idea.
That's what it sounds like. That's exactly what it sounds like. I'm going nowhere. I'm going to find out what's going on when I get there.
Right, but it's starting to get kind of popular. So
so isn't the Fountainbleu.
Yeah.
This Fountainbleu is it took a little bit of time, but it seems to be, I'm waiting for it because I picked you up. And I'm waiting then, I'm watching all these cars coming up thinking, I know it is Friday and everybody comes in on Friday. So you are playing this week. You started last night?
Yeah, Friday through Sunday.
Thursday.
Thursday through Sunday. Yeah, I should.
Thursday through Sunday. So you've already played one night. How was it last night?
It was fantastic. Would you
say?
say?
Man, come on. Now you see these things.
Yes.
I'm calling them things. And we can play with them. Apparently last time when I had these in my hand, I was in 2017, and I was holding these as the hand. Now that's not how it goes. It's like this. You play with this. So now I will hand them back to you. Hand them back to you and explain what you do. And this is why it's called the Malletman.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm the protege of the late great legend Lionel Hampton.
Well, we all know who Lionel Hampton is, and
I
if you
hope so.
don't know, go to your internet and check
Google
out.
it. Google
Google him.
it. Google
Very,
it.
very famous. He was the person that actually got you into the business.
Oh
And
yeah, I was so inspired by Lionel Hampton, and I was so impressed with him back when I was 12 years old.
oh,
You
wow.
know, so I just followed the journey and wished and prayed for the opportunity to just meet him.
And you did.
They always say in life, be careful what you ask for, but
You just
sometimes
might get
you
it.
get it 3 times, you know. So it wasn't like me just meeting him, but I ended up moving in with him.
Really? So you really knew him?
Yeah, I moved in with him. I lived with him for 3 years. I
Oh
started
my
out as his
goodness.
roadie. I was responsible for setting up all his vibes and his drum sets, and then from there I graduated.
So then you were talented in doing that as well, then?
Yeah, I had 7 years under my wing before moving in with him. So I went to college for music. I was out there, trying to figure out how to play the vibes and xylophone on my own. And so once I moved in under him, I had 7 years of experience. But then from that point on, the journey just went like wow.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, and it complements what Mando's part of his world because it's kind of a comeback. I think this is like a restart button that's being pressed. And when I was with Lionel Hampton, I got the honors of seeing Benny Goodman, Sammy Davis Jr.
We're going back sometime. Benny Goodman, you're talking about my time now.
yeah. I got the.
So you were down there and I was a little bit up there.
I only met him once, He
but once
brought-
is
he brought-
enough.
He brought me to his house.
Did he give you the Ray? Did he give you the Ray?
I know.
Yeah,
I know, right?
If you know.
It was just the whole journey was great.
yeah.
I had a chance to meet Frank Sinatra when Lionel Hampton played on the "L.A. Is My Lady" album, and that's when Quincy Jones was the conductor and had the whole great all-star cast from the
Quincy
Breckers
Jones,
brothers to Al Gray, to
Quincy
Mark
Jones
Jones
found a
Davis.
lot of people. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never met the man, but I know a lot about him.
Yeah, but Lionel Hampton started Quincy Jones.
See, it all starts from somewhere,
Quincy
doesn't
Jones
it?
was 15 years old, and Lionel in Seattle, Washington was where Quincy Jones was from. And Lionel wanted to bring him in the band, and then Lionel's wife, Gladys, she said,
Yes.
"No, wait, let him finish school." That was a beautiful thing. Let him finish
school first.
and then if he wants to come out on the road, and that opened up so many doors for both parties.
Isn't that amazing? It's funny because none of us really know where things start from, but everything has a beginning.
Yeah.
Everything has a beginning, a middle, and we have an end. But this is where it goes through. So now he's passed away, and you're now going on to your life.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
Yeah, because that's really kind
It's
of
the truth.
that's kind of what I'm understanding, and this is where these things come in.
Yeah, these
Now
mallets.
these are mallets.
These are
That's
mallets.
why Malletman. So explain what these things because not everybody not everybody knows what these are.
Well, this actually complements as much as they don't know this is even the instrument, they still don't understand it.
No.
No matter how
And
many
this is
times
part of the instrument.
how many times I repeat it, they still say, "Oh, what's that thing?"
There's always a thing.
It's a thing, Well, these are mallets, right? These are mallets. These are 2 sticks where they got balls on the end of them, and there's yarn wrapped around them, right?
Yeah.
And the yarn wrapped around them identifies the thickness, and they have there's 4 different types of mallets.
Okay.
Now you started it.
I started the whole thing now.
And I gotta kind of water it down.
Yeah, make sure, sweet.
And anyway, there's 4 different styles of mallets, but these actually mallets are like a medium hard mallet because it's an attack.
Okay.
So it's more of a so when I want to be heard versus trying to turn up a volume like on a guitar or what have you, I actually use a harder
that.
mallet, and the attack when I hit the bar makes a louder sound.
And you get their attention.
Well, I'll get your attention now.
I'm just playing with these things, holding them, thinking.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But I mean,
this
these-
is actually
these mallets-
this
these
is
mallets-
actually your business. These 2 things right here are your career.
That's how it's like. I guess the way to describe it's like you know how Robin Hood was.
Yeah.
Robin had his arrows and he had his bow.
He was ready
It's the only way he was able to introduce his
to do his thing.
to do his thing,
Whatever
right?
it
So
was.
without my mallets and my vibes, but at the same time, like I said, Lionel Hampton was the one that played the vibes and the mallets, and he was part of the generation of the Frank Sinatras and the Sammy Davis Jr.'s.
And that was a little bit of a softer music then, whereas now it's a little higher, a little louder, and when they had Frank Sinatra with all the ballads and all the different things. By the way, I met Frank Sinatra.
Really?
And yes, at his home in Beverly Hills.
What year?
I will tell you the year. I will tell you the year. It was 1974.
Okay.
Wow.
1974. I met him at his home. I was invited, and he was flirting a little bit.
Oh, he was?
But he had Barbara at that time, and so I didn't want to have anything to do with anything, break up any. But we sat and we talked for quite a long time because I was from Europe, so he was interested in that.
Right.
Because somebody coming from Europe, we were able to talk about something else rather than his singing and everything else. A wonderful man.
Wow, that's amazing.
So you met him. So this was the era of all that.
Yeah,
so
once in the
when did
studio.
you successfully come out performing? How old were you?
When I successfully came out performing? Successfully?
Probably 12 years old.
Well, I mean, I don't know, successful. That's kind of a hard word to say because I'm still trying to be successful. Right? Yeah, technically, right?
Maybe she means like professionally.
Let me just put it this way.
Oh, you mean on a professional level? Right?
I guess so.
Okay. Well, what happened was I set my up for the professional level because what I did was when I was with Lionel, I was always in the office and seeing how his management team conducted things, and what I
soaking
did
it in, huh?
Yeah, how they made the business work.
Yes.
And so I decided to start my own record company while I was with Lionel Hampton. So I moved in with Lionel in 1983. 1984, my record company, I started as a subsidiary of Lionel Hampton's label because him and his wife had their own label called Glad Hamp Records. So I made mine as a subsidiary, and while I was on the road with him, I used to just put my records in the suitcase, and when we traveled, while the band was sleeping, I would go to the radio station and say, "Hey, I'm with Lionel Hampton."
Of course.
Well, people still do that now.
Oh yeah,
Do they still do that
Sure,
now?
yeah, they still do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they conduct their own interviews and they do their own stuff while they're traveling.
But they thought I was crazy back then,
Well, yeah, because back then you always had a manager.
That's right.
This day and age, a lot of the people are not having managers. They're doing it themselves because
That's right.
they're all turning around saying the managers are just taking the money and not really doing it.
You have to be self-sufficient nowadays. Yeah.
And I was doing it back. I was doing it,
both.
and I was doing it back then. And they laughed at me. They're like, "You'll never make it. You never make it." I said, and I used to do things like put stuff on consignment.
Yeah.
I would make up my own little stuff. I wrote my music, and I would go. I found out how to press records. I found out how to promote.
So you actually, both of you have actually gone into the business side of it as well.
Yeah.
So not only relying on the talents you have, because you both have a talent,
Right.
and then you've also gone into with the records and also I believe he's got a shoe line. Mallet.
Not really. I don't have it, but indirectly.
There's a shoe line out there. I haven't really
Mallet.
got into called Mallets.
It's Mallet sneakers. Mallet sneakers. I'm wearing a pair right now. Mallet
sole.
sneakers.
Yeah, I don't know if you can get your leg up here.
Man,
That's a little bit high, isn't it?
He was kicking. He was kicking pretty high last night.
Kicking like high, yeah.
You know, to get those
Stage,
others.
you could
I
take
thought
it
that's
off.
why you had the mallet on the bottom.
Could just slip it off.
Yeah, I'm gonna slip it off. I did wash my feet. So.
Are you sure?
I don't got no bunions and
No, but all that stuff.
crunch
So are you into other business? So you're saying you're a manager. You have a lot of clients, or have you built this up, or how?
Sophisticated music, this kid.
Yeah, I mean,
Sophisticated music.
Ink.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Ink.
Yeah, I mean, I actually come from a band called Royal Crown Review, which was a swing band back in the day, and we had a famous song that we wrote called "Hey Pachuco," which was in the movie The Mask with Jim Carrey.
Oh, sure.
And yeah, and it's always used in like Dancing with the Stars, like every year.
Because it's got such a beat to it, hasn't
Yeah,
it? It's got a
it's kind of like a
beat.
it's like a Gene Krupa kind of beat that we kind of got a little traction with.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
and so yeah, we were credited for bringing back the resurgence of swing music or retro music, I guess, or as you call it now.
Yeah, whatever.
But
He's
yeah,
asking me. Hello.
but yeah, so I was doing that. I formed that band in 1989, and then we
And you formed many bands since then, because now you said, like bringing Malletman, you live in New York, right? In Jersey. In New Jersey.
Yeah.
So you just bring him out because financially wise, You can't bring the whole band out. It's the extravagance. So you put bands together. So do you bring some people you know from Vegas and give them a chance to be in the band?
Sure.
And then you bring people from Los
from all over.
Angeles.
Mainly, I have like a house band with
That's in Los Angeles.
in Los Angeles with people that I work with, and I usually bring them out, and then sometimes I use local musicians.
Local talent, yeah.
And then also the Fountainbleu uses local. I do Thursdays through Sundays. That's what I am responsible there at the Nowhere, and then local talent plays Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays there actually, and so there's music there 7 days a week.
So this is keeping you pretty. Are you married?
No. But yeah, it's I've been here every week since it opened.
It's just that I think it's a little young, so we have to find some of my girlfriends.
Yeah.
So you're not married. Do you have any children?
I do not know.
You don't have. Oh my God! Well, let's not go there.
My saxophone is my child.
Your saxophone is your child. But Vegas, they're always looking for handsome young men and all this stuff. So keep away from.
So that's how that works out here. I don't know.
Are you married?
I'm from Jersey.
Are you married? Do you have children? Not that you know of.
No, I don't have no children.
This is the children.
My vibraphone is my real lady.
This is really
my
great.
vibraphone is my lady.
The two of you
She don't talk back to
really,
me.
Yeah, they don't. There you go. So the two of you really don't have any obligations to anything except doing your own career and your own business, and also using your talents, because both of you have talents, different talents, but intermingled together, it's like a one talent, and it produces what we're all looking for.
Yeah, I think we made the commitment that I think music is our biggest obligation.
Is your number one?
It's our number one obligation.
And to me, it's amazing because to the point where if you have any type of medical condition, anybody, and I had to go into the doctor one time just to get checked up, and one of the things that the doctors always say is that oh well, if you got this or you got that, one of the things you need yoga and music. And music is therapy.
Oh, absolutely.
Music is therapy. So that's something, when any of us are sick, we're already ahead of the game as professionals because we have that therapy.
Well, you're both going in the same direction and you want to achieve the same thing. Mm-hmm. And so, I always think nothing happens by accident, by the way. I always think that, things are put together.
But I like this puzzle because of the fact is that, as I said earlier, Mando introduced to me that, hey, here's one of the hottest parts of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Well, the Fountainbleu is the hottest at the moment.
Right, and the Fountainbleu is like really going to be. They really made the point that they're responsible for making the button.
Yes.
So this way we can be contribution towards pressing the restart button. And it makes sense because you think about it. All these cats got names: Sammy Davis Jr. Drive, Bob Hope Boulevard, Frank Sinatra Freeway. But at the same time, all of them aren't here.
No.
And now when the people want to put on their dress and suit and want to come out and see what they
Malletman Drive.
It's Monday.
Malletman Drive.
Mando Mountain.
Mando Mountain.
There you go.
Yeah,
we got it done. All right. Well, if you're looking for names out there, I got two of them right here. And you're pressing the buttons. And so how successful, because it seems like you've been very successful with your fulfillment as of filling this room with people, because to fill a room, getting people, it's getting people to fill the seats in Vegas. That's what the main thing is. I don't think you charge in this room, do you?
No, it's absolutely free.
So this is a great thing, and I'll tell you why, because when I used to come with my husband here, I was married. He passed away.
You got kids?
No, I don't, unfortunately.
We'll interview Hunter. You got a house? We need a place for band rehearsals.
When you have a place you don't have to pay to go in and you're getting top-notch music, that's what they used to have here in Vegas.
That's right.
And that kind of went out. So nobody could sort of, say, have dinner in one of the fine restaurants of the Fountainbleu and then go over and have to pay again for something. Now with your show that you've put in there, they don't have to do that.
That's correct.
And they get entertainment from 8 o'clock to what, 12? 11?
12, 12:30.
12.
Depends.
Depends
on if we're feeling it. Lately it's been 12:30, but that's not official. I don't want to say that's official.
No, but at the same time you're giving them extra time because you're actually enjoying it.
We are enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're enjoying
Well,
something,
first
you
of all,
do.
it's an incredible room. It was actually built by a person by the name of John Rollins. If you don't know who he is, his ambition, or he built and designed the room based off of Yves Saint Laurent's apartment in Paris.
Wow.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so,
We've got a history going
just
on
to,
here.
just to have that alone,
Wow.
and I met him, and he's a fantastic person. To be able to bring music into that environment, for starters, is just a
Is
fantastic
it a very
thing.
big room, or it's probably a
It's
showroom?
It's not a showroom by any means.
Not at all.
It's a lounge, but I would say it's kind of
So what's the
a big
difference
size
between a lounge
lounge.
and a showroom? Because people...
Well, the showroom is, I think, people are seated there to see the show, and it's usually they're bigger.
Yeah.
And a lounge is more just a lounge.
Just a
around
lounge,
and
so
have
they can
drinks
come.
and-
They can come in, listen for half an hour,
Yeah.
and leave, or come in for an hour, or
Yeah.
for all the hours that you're
Yeah.
playing.
You can
So
bring
you
your
can wander
friends.
in and out. That's what
wander in and
Louis
out.
Prima did that.
There you
remember
go.
Louis Prima.
We were just
wrote it?
talking about him.
Yeah,
Back in those days, the lounge scene ruled Las Vegas. and-
it did, because it was a relaxing place to
Yeah.
go. Because also, the husband or the boyfriend, whatever, could put the wife there, and he can go and gamble, and
That's
she's
right.
entertained.
Right.
And that's how they did it in those days. They
That's
used
how
to
they
have
did it.
places to entertain the woman and the family,
Yeah.
or the man in the family, and let the woman gamble or the man gamble. But
Yeah.
that's how they did it. And they
That
used
is
to
how they
pay
did
them a lot of money, these entertainers.
Yeah, they did.
But they didn't mind. And I don't know how true this is, but hearsay is a dangerous thing. They used to say they didn't really mind how much they would pay the entertainers, because they would gamble. And
Right. That was the
and
idea.
And I heard this, and I thought, oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So nothing really cost them anything.
Right.
So you've been.
But it's hard to find now in
I was
this
gonna
town.
say, and you are in the entertainment business. You book shows, you perform shows.
I really started
And where
doing it.
Where do you do it?
I really started doing it here because of what we're talking about. Because I think the spirit of the lounge act, the entertainers, I think it's still here. And
It is. I know it is.
And I think people get hugely disappointed when they come here and they never find it, or they don't see it. I mean, there are some places where you could see live music, of course, but it's just not plentiful.
Yeah, but usually it's very loud, and it's really for the younger generation. You walk and then you can't hear each other talk.
Right.
Whereas the other older shows are a little bit more low key, not low performance, just lower noise.
Right.
And I think you've got a great idea coming back in, because I've been into the hotels all my life. Well, not all my life, but a lot of my life.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, gambling. But that was with my husband, because he loved to gamble.
Yeah.
But that's what we used to do, go to these lounges. So can you book yourself in any other lounge, or are you only sort of kind of doing the Fountainbleu?
Yeah. No. This is specific only to the Fountainbleu. Yeah.
So you're giving all your energy strictly to the Fountainbleu, which I think is
Absolutely,
wonderful.
yeah.
So
That's
they
what
don't have
I'm here to do.
Yeah, there you go. So they're not worried about you going booking in another, spreading your wings and going to other hotels. You're just strictly at the Fountainbleu and making sure that works.
Yeah.
Do they have any other lounges in there that you could either? Because I think they have a lounge in the main.
Yeah, they have.
Oh, there's a big
they have
bar
the
there.
the Collins Bar,
Yeah.
which is also a great place where they have local
They have a
piano players
big-
in there. They have
yeah.
Steinway in there.
Yeah.
There's a Steinway in there, and they also have the Blue Bar, but that's just kind of that's an
smaller
open.
bar.
That's the biggest, probably the bigger bar. But that's right smack in the middle of the casino.
That's right. That's the one I went to,
Yeah.
and they had this incredible band there. The guy was singing, and they had a whole band in there and everything.
A band?
Yeah, they had a whole band. Because
Oh,
I
you're
saw
probably
it.
you're probably talking
the
about
grand opening.
You're probably talking about. Oh yeah,
That was the grand
The
opening.
grand opening. Yeah.
Yeah, the grand opening.
Yeah,
They had that big thing, and I thought, oh, this is amazing. We've got more people can now entertain. And actually, I knew, because after all these years of doing Vegas Live with Ninon, I got to know a lot of the people, the entertainers, and everybody knew as well, because that's why you come back. So it's all very exciting to come back as Vegas Live with Ninon, because I really love the show, and also giving all the entertainers out there. But I do business people and real estate people, and there are other people I don't leave out, and I don't leave them out because they're part of Vegas
Sure.
as well.
Yeah.
But you are now part of Vegas, and you've come back, and now you're part of it, and So, what is where are you both going now? Because this is like a big business thing, and it's becoming, Frank Sinatra with the.
Well, I think right now we're, the goal, or at least the goal for me, is to bring great music to the Nowhere Lounge, the Fountainbleu, acts that you can't see anywhere else in Vegas. I guess
that-
I'm reaching all the way from New York, Chicago, Los Angeles.
You're looking for the creme de la creme, or you're looking for talent?
And a lot of them I've worked with myself, or I have I have a relationship with them, and I know who they are, or somebody that I admire that I like to work with, or that I think would be a great fit for the Nowhere Lounge.
So you're very particular who you bring into the Nowhere Lounge, which is the Fountainbleu. So
yeah, I mean, because it's
your reputation.
Well, not only that, it's about the fit
Yeah.
of the casino and the fit of the room, and it's really right down my alley, because I think the Fountainbleu is a fantastic, beautiful
I was just
place.
going to say, what do you think of the Fountainbleu?
I love it. It's like it's
elegant.
mid-century bliss.
Oh, look at his face lit up. He's got his like, oh. I mean, to me,
it feels like 1961 when you walk in there.
It does, because when I walked in,
which is a refreshing thing.
Yeah, I walked in and there was all these flowers, but it wasn't loud. It was nice and quiet, but there was lots of people there because of the opening, and I just thought how elegant it was, and the restaurants.
Yeah.
They've got quite a few restaurants.
And they're trying to bring the best of the best there. They're trying to be the best on the Strip, I believe. And so it's great to be in that.
I don't think you can answer this question. So I'll ask you, how can you do that to bring the best of the best? Because there's everything is so, as I say, shorts and white socks and tennis shoes.
Well, see, that's where I'll come in on that, because
Yes.
complimenting. See, with me and Mando, we clicked. We got together in 2017, and we did that tribute to Lionel Hampton, and one of the most fabulous entertainers, the late Tim Gills. Timothy, right?
Tim Gill, yeah.
Timothy Gills was phenomenal
Yeah.
in California, and he was the cream of the crop in terms of complimenting what Mondo's doing.
He was a trumpet player.
He was a trumpet player, singer,
I
songwriter.
love the trumpet, the saxophone. I love all that stuff.
And and actually, my drummer, Jimmy Ford, he was one of the, when I first met Jimmy Ford, and he's playing in my band, and also
Now.
with Jennifer Keith now at the Fountainbleu
Tonight.
and he's part of that touch. He's part of that chemistry.
Yeah.
But he's the one that introduced. When I met him when I was with Lionel Hampton, because he was the main drummer for Lionel Hampton he was about 24, 25 years
I was
old.
going to say, pretty young then.
Yeah.
And so now, when I reached out to him, he reconnected me to Tim Gills, the late Tim Gills, and put together this phenomenal band. And I did a tribute in Hollywood at the Catalina. And he put this whole band together, and that was the kickoff, the compliment. It's in a weird way what's happening now, because even though Tim's not with us,
Well, he's still there guiding us and helping.
yeah, he's guiding us through this, but it was just the culture, the
Yes.
click, and the thing is, if you like me and Mando, we studied the package. That's one of the key words that I'll say to you. Is you could be a great player.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm complimenting what you just said, but you have to have a package.
Yes, you do. It has to be complete.
If you look at Dean Martin, if you look at Sammy Davis Jr., you look at Frank Sinatra, you look at the Rat
They
Pack.
were a package.
They were a package deal. Okay.
Yep.
And the thing about it is that what brought me in more is the fact that because I like to hit the stage as a package. Mando likes to hit the stage as a package, and the thing is, it's going to help to remind people that this hotel and the Fountainbleu, they want men to come in dressed like men. They want women to come in dressed like women, right?
Wouldn't that be lovely?
And an example of that is, we remember the Lauren Bacoles.
Oh.
We remember the
Elizabeth Taylor, Shirley Jones, all these people.
And
always
you know what I'm saying? And they walked in smelling and dressing like women. They had the earrings.
Everything.
And they had
Yes.
And then the men.
We always had a suit on.
But a lot of people don't understand the little important things that complement the package. Like me and Mando, we have fun with it because we know. I mean, there is called cufflinks.
Yes, they're still out there.
There is
You
called,
can still buy them.
there is
Remember
called
the little pins you would have for the collar?
Tie
some
bar.
with the
tie bar.
Tie bar.
Right.
Yeah.
See, these things.
That's right.
These things aren't purchased because
Not
the
anymore.
culture doesn't know it. And to this day, I see guys that go to YouTube to have to learn how to put on a tie.
Or how to even tie a tie.
They don't know how to
yeah.
tie. They want to buy instant ties. So I think I love the part of that.
I
because
think that's coming back, though.
we're-
I hope it's coming back.
Because
I think so.
Yeah, it's up to what I like.
up
is
to us to bring it
we're
back.
contributing towards
Right.
bringing back not just the real music and the real bands, but the real package.
The real package.
And there's a
Which
lot
is
and I'm not going to give
the
away all
people.
5 of them. There's 5 things that make a package.
Yeah, but then all people can share it and have it and look at it and see it and like it.
That's right.
I think there's nothing better than to see a man in a suit, not necessarily always have to wear a tie, but a tie preferably, but a man in a suit and sort of nice shoes and everything else. I remarked about, I think it was your shoes.
Yeah.
He's a great pair of shoes on. He's got jeans on. They look great, but he actually got shoes. Well, we were talking about your shoes, by the way.
Oh, well, no, this is the mallet sneakers.
This is the mallet sneakers. I
Yeah,
wanted to
it's
just present those.
mallet.com. They're out of London.
These are out of London, my hometown.
London,
Anyway, there
and
they are. They're pretty cool.
It's one of the styles they got there, and it's a
But
great
there's a
sneaker.
time to wear these, and there's a
There's
time to dress up.
like a man.
And I think now we've got the time, and then with what you're what you do and what you're putting together, you're kind of putting together the old lounge shows.
Well, I'm doing it in a particular way. I mean, and I'm reaching out to people. I mean, like, he's practically a descendant of Lionel Hampton, and you can't get any more closer to that than this man here, and he's there. He's at the Fountainbleu.
Well, that's why he's there with you.
That's why he's there.
That's why you chose him.
That's right.
Out of I mean, there's loads of. I know this. There's loads of people.
I have one of my other residency artists there, Jennifer Keith. She is a cousin of Elizabeth Taylor. She's also the K. Keith is the K in RKO Pictures. That's her family. They were all from vaudeville, and so she's there. That's a really good direct lineage there. So she embodies that. It's like he embodies everything that he's learned from the great Lionel Hampton. I've learned a lot from Sam Butera, who was the lounge person here.
Oh, are you kidding?
And I was great friends with him.
Yeah.
I was great friends with him. As a matter of fact, I used to go see him at the Desert Inn. And they renovated the lounge at the time, and my band Royal Crown Review, we came there for 9 weeks and we played the lounge there with his blessing, of course.
Of course, yes.
And that's a direct lineage that I feel that I have with Sam that I feel very special about.
Did you when you were younger?
Just as a few examples,
When you were younger, was this your goal? Was this because you've reached your goal absolutely, but you're going to make it bigger and maybe have these lounges all over?
Well, I never thought of doing this really. I mean, I'm a musician first, still am, and my dad was a saxophone player, and he was inspired by someone by the name of Big J McNeely, who was one of the honking sax players who was credited for a lot of rock and roll. He would get on his back, and my dad would walk to school and he would hear him playing, and so that's why he played saxophone. So
See,
I just grew up with
somewhere,
musicians.
doesn't it? It always starts somewhere where you would never think it would start.
So now you asked me where I was going. I mean, you asked me, then you asked him.
Yeah.
But with me, where I'm going is that, it's kind of like, it's always good to be a sponge in life as far as I'm concerned, because there's always somebody that's going to take, if you give them a chance, they're going to educate you about something.
Yeah.
So
if you let them.
Right, if you let them. And so, I got reached out, August by Mando. And now, my answer is that, he's reminding me and this spirit in my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I mean, this is who I pray to. But my chapter in my life just changed now, where it's reminding me that, wow, you know what?
There's no limits in life.
I always knew my worth, but now I'm getting an exercise.
How was I going to get it out there?
Yeah, how am I exercising my worth?
And now you got him out. Well,
he put me into this puzzle.
But also through all your hard work and everything else is the reason why you chose him, because obviously there's something that you actually did all through your life of getting where you want to get.
And people tried to change me, to fit into the times. Like, with smooth jazz, these guys are phenomenal players. They can play everything, Kenny G and all the rest of them, but at the same time, they wanted me to, you should wear holy jeans and you should wear sunglasses and you should wear, just a regular t-shirt.
Holy jeans and a tuxedo.
They were telling me, you should get rid of that. Nobody wears zoot suits. Get rid of all that stuff, man. But I stuck to what I believed in, because the thing is, I always asked myself, why was I blessed to be moving in with Lionel Hampton? Why was it that the phone would ring?
Because it was supposed to be.
It was supposed to be.
All supposed
It was
to
part
be.
of my. It was part of my preparations for today.
But you also
Sure.
allowed it. You also had that door open, and you also allowed it. You had that door open, and you weren't afraid to step into it or to sort of be part of it. And also visualizing, you know, where it's going and knowing it's the right one. But it's also hard when you're young, and we all go through it, everybody. I went through it, we all go through it, of is it the right way? Is that what I want? But like you, I always dressed. I think I own one pair of jeans that I don't think I've worn in 2 years. I just don't wear jeans. I'm, and everybody says to me, "Oh, you're always so dressed up." And well, no, I'm not. For me, I'm not.
Right.
Because that's just the everyday how I dress.
But it always reminded me that even when I went into history and I look in the books, I don't have not one picture of Lionel Hampton or Frank Sinatra in a pair of sneakers.
No,
I looked. No sneakers.
Well, look, so
no
when they were playing
jeans.
tennis, I mean, go to the tennis photograph.
You know, I mean, and I remember when I used to go out to the store with Lionel, and we just go downstairs to go buy some ice cream or something. He would put on a sports jacket.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just to go downstairs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's how you. I mean, I lived in London, and you always dressed. I mean, you wouldn't go anywhere without being dressed. Whereas now it's like sneakers
and I think
it's all part of it.
which is all good.
Yeah,
it's okay, and it is okay to be like that. But I really think, you know, when you're going to lounges and you're going to different places that are very upper class, I think to see everybody dressed up, and the opening of the Fountainbleu was so beautiful because there were so many people dressed up.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my goodness, this is so wonderful, and it was just so great. It was amazing.
Yeah, and
So-
I think that's what we're trying to present there at the Nowhere.
So we are nowhere. We are the Nowhere Lounge at the Fountainbleu. I think we need to wrap up. Probably Steve is looking at me like, Ninon, you know, you're going on and on and on, and you're. But when you have guests like I have there, you don't want to stop because you both have such fabulous stories of a beginning that you kind of planned, but perseverance took it forward.
Yeah.
Of the direction you wanted to go into.
I think it's really interesting for me and Mallet because we both hold a particular artist in high esteem.
Yes.
Obviously, he was heavily inspired by Lionel Hampton. I was inspired a lot by Illinois Jacquet. And those are the two strong personalities in that band that have so much to do with jazz and music today.
Which is where you were
And
at.
rock and roll even.
Yeah.
Lionel Hampton and Illinois Jacquet, you can trace it back and you can say that they were probably the beginning of rock and roll.
And now you're part of the rock and roll
And here we
scene,
are.
and here
we are trying to, you know, he embodies that. That's what's so great about him, and I feel like I embody that.
You definitely,
and that's why this is such a great act that you got to come and see it. You got.
I know. I'm going to.
And then
see it
Jimmy
tonight.
Ford,
I can't
who's
wait.
the drummer that is also.
So
he's
how many are
also
in your
like-
band?
Well, there's 5 of us.
5 of you. So it's not a 3, it's a 5. A 5 in a
5.
lounge is pretty cool.
Yeah, there's 5 of us.
Because normally they have or sometimes they have 1, and then they have all these other electronic instruments. That
No,
you don't see
we're
people.
playing all real instruments.
Real instruments from 8 o'clock
That's right.
to
8.
12, 12:30, whenever you can walk.
Last week I had a gypsy jazz, Django Reinhardt, Stefan Grappelli kind of Parisian band in there that does music from the 1930s and 1940s, and because Fountainbleu.
And your audience,
They loved it.
Are they big?
You know.
I mean, it
Had
seems like you're
played
busy.
violin, clarinet, and then a rhythm section, and
It seems
acoustic
like
guitar.
people have a place to go.
there's
Well, they can
definitely
arrive at any
variety
time.
there too. There's a lot of variety there. That's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to bring there.
So you're bringing in variety. So you can be young, you can be old. There's a lot of lovely, wonderful young people out there that we don't. We always had the younger generation of doing the bad things. But let me tell you, there's a young. I had a show for 16 years called Voices of Tomorrow, and I interviewed from 12 to 18, and I gave them a platform. And there's some young people out there that are absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah.
And they're wonderful.
sure.
And so we give them a chance.
Yeah.
But I think the greatest thing about this Nowhere place is because you can go in there anytime. You don't have to book a seat. You don't have to do anything. You can just go
We
in.
recommend reservations though, because the fact is that it's not.
Well, it's
not,
busy.
It's not like a seating in the theater environment. But the thing is that, you know, I always, you know, what me and Mando on the same page about is like, you know, my thing is, and there's no disrespect, you know, as an artist at all, but I think every category has their place.
Yes.
But I think that, you know, you want to do your hip hop, do your hip hop. You know, you want to do your country and western, do your country and western.
Yeah.
But, you know, give us a chance, you know, to introduce real educational history, you know, from the instrument. You know, come out, you know, have some manners. You know, we want to bring back the word respect. We want to bring back.
Well, that disappeared from the dictionary, isn't it?
There's certain words that they're taken out of the dictionary, and everybody's comfortable with it.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I know this is a new generation where everybody's doing what they want to do. Yeah. You know, and the thing is, I don't say yes or no, but there's so many leaders out there. You know that whatever happened to the Indians, and when I say that like when you watch a football game, all right, everybody has a job to do. If everybody's going to be the quarterback, how you going to play the game? Well, one person needs to catch the ball. Yeah. You have to have a line.
Someone to throw it.
Right. One has to throw.
On left or right.
You got a coach on the side. And the reason why I bring that to you, because it's called structure. All right. And in our world of music, it's about structure. And in today's world, I don't see that everybody wants to run away from the structure. What's the sense of, you know, learning the shortcut around the corner if you don't know the long way around it first? Even if you go to the army, you go to the army, there's majors, there's generals. Everybody has a responsibility.
That's like making your foundation.
A foundation.
You have to make a foundation. If you don't have a foundation, on a house, you know you have to have this concrete foundation. And if you don't have that, the house is going to collapse.
And I'm just saying, you look at the war, you look at Army, look at the Marines, look at the...
They all have a foundation.
Everybody has rules and regulations and respect in order to maintain,
to be there,
to be successful. So why do I bring that up? Because I use that as examples of, in our world here, in the world of jazz, it's called structure, it's called respect. And you don't go into the army dressed in jeans and a hat turned on your head, your jeans.
And what do you want me to do today?
And listen, and please understand, not disrespecting everybody's style, but I'm saying in our world with jazz, there's structure.
And you're bringing back, bringing that back.
We want a real woman. We want real women to walk in the door. We want real men to walk in the door. Yeah. And I'll be flexible. We want real human beings to come in dressed well.
Isn't that nice? That's the way I would say. That's not a bad request.
I like that.
That's not a bad request because that gives a chance for a woman. Women love to dress up.
I was about to go there.
Women really do.
They want a good excuse,
but they never get that because they get all dressed up. Yeah. Well, they get dressed up, and then their partner's wearing either shorts and tennis shoes, and thinking, well, that doesn't match what I'm doing, so therefore I better dress. Because women kind of dress.
Or they dress up. They dress up nice, and the only thing they have to look forward to is going to dinner, and then after that, it's like, well, you can go to the Nowhere Lounge.
There you go.
You can have some cocktails. Have some nice cocktails in there.
Yeah. Well, whoever hasn't been to the Fountainbleu, please go because it's absolutely amazing. And the Nowhere Room, I know it's a great name, isn't it? It's Nowhere.
Nowhere's the place to be.
It's not Nowhere. It's the Fountainbleu. But so where can anybody reach you? Malletman. How can people reach you?
Well, they can just go to my website, www.malletsplace, which is MALLETS as in Sam, P as in Paul, LACE.com. And I know in today's new world, this called Instagram.
Instagram, yes.
So you can go to J Mallet's Place, for Instagram.
Facebook.
Facebook, you can go on Facebook. I'm in there.
There's only one Malletman, so just look up Malletman.
And then also on Instagram, you can go to Mallet Records.
Mallet
Records for Instagram, yeah. But like I say, my mission is to keep real music alive. And I'm at a point in my life where I tell my peers, we always look up to Louis Armstrong. We're always talking about Miles Davis, and we always talking about. I said, but check it out. We're at a stage. We're at a stage of our life where we need to start. We need to start talking about us.
Yeah.
Well, those guys are all gone.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
this is us now. We're trying to represent their spirit here in Las Vegas.
And you're doing it very well.
Their spirit under our names.
There you go.
And besides talking about Lionel Hampton and the marriage, or Lionel Hampton and Mallet, I mean, Mallet sounds like a fantastic player on his own. I mean, if you heard him play, you're not going to say, "Oh, that sounds like Lionel Hampton." you're going to say that
It's
sounds
you.
like Malletman because
Malletman,
you're going to
yes.
hear shades of Lionel Hampton in there, but he's
But
got his
still
own thing too.
Your own thing, which is wonderful.
And complimenting Mando.
Well.
I mean, he reminds me of so many people. Illinois educated. He has a combination of, you know, like Chet Baker, but at the same time, I always remind people, but it's Mando.
It's Mando.
It's
Let's,
Mando.
let's push this Mando man out. So now, where can anybody reach you, Mando?
Well, I think the easiest thing right now is to you can find me on Instagram under, it's Sophisticated Cholo. You can find me there on Instagram. That's the best place. Mando Dorame is the name. And I'll see you there, or I'll see you at the Nowhere Lounge.
Dorame, Mando, M-A-N-D-O, and Dorano is D-O-R-A-M-E. So that's where you can reach you. And of course, Malletman, I mean, you can. I've known him for years. He's always there. See, he's got these things. Yeah, I love them. Absolutely love them. I want to thank you all for joining in. Vegas Live with Ninon, being back again. We're going to be doing another show at a club on Monday. And then we've got, I don't know what's happening, but I've got a lot of people keep calling me and they want me to do their show. So this is why I've brought back Vegas Live with Ninon, because everybody wants me to go to their clubs now. So now I really wanted to film actually at the Fountainbleu, but we have restrictions in hotels, so it's not only the Fountainbleu hotels, all hotels, we can't really bring cameras in, it's very difficult. So I go to clubs now, or I have them on my show right now.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to go to NDD Network, that's on YouTube, and of course NDD, just put in NDD, it'll go to YouTube, it'll go to all the platforms, all the media platforms. Thank you for tuning in, and nice to have you back. Take care.
Thanks for having us, Nina.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Nice. Take care.